animals vulnerable. Adult male Bengals reach lengths of 2 meters and weigh over 200 kilograms. They grow 3 times larger than their leopard cousins. They hunt primarily from dusk to dawn, tracking prey with their extraordinary night vision. A tiger's eyes are equipped with a special reflecting layer called the tapetum lucidum. Located behind the retina, this film increases the amount of light captured by the eye, enabling the predator to hunt in the darkest setting. Once locked onto its prey, its method of attack is unusually simple. It employs one crushing bite to the throat or neck. Like the leopard, the tiger prefers to eat in seclusion, dragging its meal into cover and then consuming up to 40 kilograms of meat in one sitting. India's killer cats live within dense foliage and on the outskirts of town. And whether they're hunting natural or human prey, most victims never even know they're there until it's too late. Two of India's most formidable species aren't your usual predators, although if they're cornered, they too can be deadly. One is small and inconspicuous, and kills with venom. The other is large and boisterous, and it kills with force. The India red scorpion unleashes its toxic sting. Within moments, vomiting and confusion rack the young victim. As the toxins spread, they ravage the heart and nervous system. Without treatment, respiratory and organ failure can occur in hours. And all from an invertebrate the size of a cigarette lighter. Nearly 100 species of scorpion live in India, but the India red is the deadliest. Much like spiders and snakes, a scorpion stings as a last resort. The bulbous, venom-filled gland at the end of its tail injects its victim with a flood of neurotoxins. These strikes are potentially disastrous, particularly for young victims. Barefooted children are among the most common casualties in India, often accidentally stepping or sitting on the 8-legged creatures. Symptoms can last from 24 to 72 hours. Victims can even improve and suddenly fall ill again, casualties of a false recovery. But medical treatment can sometimes neutralize the effects of the scorpion's elixir. India red scorpions are plentiful in the middle and southern parts of India, areas rich in rocky, sandy ground cover. Locals claim that if the soil is red, you're almost certain to find scorpions. They dwell in crevices or burrows and underneath debris. If the scorpion is cornered, it will unleash a deadly defense without a sound. But trap this giant mammal, and you'll certainly hear its ferocious attack. This is the sloth bear. It gets its name from its appearance, because its coarse fur and protracted claws resemble the attributes of another forest creature, the sloth. But while it may look like a sloth, it doesn't move like one. This 130-kilogram bear can outrun a human over short distances. It can even scare off a tiger. Attacks usually involve loud vocalizations, a sudden charge, and a punishing assault to the victim's most vulnerable area, the head and face. Since 1980, over 200 people have been attacked by sloth bears in India, more than a dozen fatally. Between 6,000 and 11,000 sloth bears are thought to dwell throughout India's lowland forests and foothills. They don't hibernate. Rather, the region's warm climate allows them to remain awake for the entire year, searching for their main food, termites. Sloth bears are avid termite hunters, anatomically designed to invade a colony and consume the tiny insects by the thousands. Their nearly 8-centimeter curved claws make easy work of a sun-baked termite mound. Once inside, the bear deters unwelcome guests from crawling up its nose by sealing its nostrils with a specially adapted flap. Then it feeds, pursing its floppy lips into a tube and vacuuming down its meal. One sloth bear can consume an entire colony, up to 10,000 termites, in a single feeding. They're on opposite ends of India's wild spectrum. The scorpion, small, inconspicuous and venomous, and the sloth bear, large and boisterous, with deadly force. But corner either of them, and the result is likely to be the same. India is home to some magnificent and deadly predators. But perhaps the largest of its deadliest species isn't a predator at all.
It attacks suddenly, comes in attacks. It gored my wife first. I was afraid it was so big. These are all wounds from the elephant attack.
The elephant is among the largest and most powerful creatures wandering the planet. 5 tons of earth-shattering mass compacted into a frame the size of a tank. From a distance, they often appear serene, spending most of the day consuming grasses, bark, and leaves. But when enraged, they can transform into enormous and unstoppable forces of nature. Asian elephants live in southern and Southeast Asia, including India. 30,000 of the colossal herbivores live in pockets throughout the country. But elephants are not mindless eating machines. They're highly intelligent creatures who form complex societies, family bonds that last generations. Like humans, much of their knowledge is learned rather than instinctive. They learn from what they experience. And their experiences are becoming increasingly traumatic. In India, logging and farming settlements are forcing elephants into tiny parcels of land that's short on food and long on hostile neighbors. Farmers drive these giants from their fields. Poachers murder the adults for their ivory tusks. Hungry villagers butcher them for their meat. And park rangers cull their ranks. As a result, juveniles are left with no elders to teach them how to survive. And those adults that do live are often traumatized from witnessing the slaughter of family members. Once these massive mammals roamed Asia by the hundreds of thousands. Today their numbers have been drastically reduced to less than 50,000. But the distraught elephants are striking back. Hunger, the struggle for space, and the search for loved ones have pushed them into dangerous confrontations with humans. Every year in India, elephants kill over 200 people. One such victim was an elderly woman named Putti. In Western India in 2004, Putti and her husband, a 73-year-old labourer called Bulla, set out for the temple from their home on the forest's edge.
The walking distance from my home to temple is 5 to 6 kilometers. As we wanted to reach temple before worshipping time, we left at 7 o'clock. We have to walk in the same path. Everybody uses this path to the temple.
But they weren't alone. Suddenly, an enormous shadow exploded from the trees. Within seconds, the elephant had overtaken the couple.
I was afraid. It was so big. If an elephant attacks, it attacks suddenly.
Despite their colossal size, elephants move with extraordinary stealth and speed. Their giant feet carry their immense frames without sinking into the ground. 15-centimeter pads of fat cushion and muffle every step. Once on the move, they can easily outrun a human, reaching speeds of nearly 50 kilometers per hour.
What can I do when it attacks suddenly? The force by which an elephant charges is more than a car.
The raging creature focused its wrath on Putti, and one well-placed foot delivered all its mass. Bulla's wife didn't stand a chance.
It crushed her.
With one threat quelled, the elephant then turned its attention to the other, Bulla.
The elephant pushed me down. It injured my head and leg and broke my waist.
An elephant's trunk contains over 90,000 muscles, making it the perfect tool for uprooting trees or gathering tall grasses. But the appendage can also be the perfect weapon for an enraged elephant. And it's not the only weapon in its arsenal.
After throwing me down, it gored me. These are all wounds from the elephant attack. The elephant gored with its tusks from here to here.
Elephant tusks can grow to over 3 meters long and weigh in excess of 180 kilograms. They're the creature's most impressive and essential hardware, used in both mating rituals and battle. Exactly what caused this elephant to lash out at Putti and Bulla remains a mystery. But what's certain is the devastation it left behind.
My back got injured. I could not walk or do anything. People took me to hospital. I should have died in that moment, but I survived because of my fate.
His wife was not so fortunate.
They took her to the hospital, but she was already dead. Whenever I remember her, tears come from my eyes.
Today, conservationists try to protect both humans and elephants. Better land management and a ban on poaching have made some strides in limiting fatalities on both sides. But these giants are always best observed from a distance. They are an elite group of 12, embodying all of nature's grandeur and power. They have thrived with a vast array of survival skills and defenses. They are India's deadly dozen.